The best, the only list of habits that will help you become the worst player you can be. Number 1. Talk out of character anytime about anything that comes to mind, anything you read on your social media. You can do this role-playing stuff whenever you feel like it. Number 1. When the situation is too tense for your liking, when the players are hanging on the GM's lips at the edge of their seats, or worse, when two other players are having a serious role-playing scene and have been talking to each other about serious character stuff for 5 minutes straight, crack a joke, get everyone's attention, brighten up the mood. Number 1. Leave the gaming table anytime you want. Get a smoke, get a drink, go to the restroom, even in the middle of combat. It's only a game after all. When the other players do it, complain that they should be doing it during a break. Number 1. Make a character that is very different from the rest of your group. You're unique, and your character should reflect that. Let the others change their character if they worry about the group fitting together. It's the GM's job anyway to make sure the group has reason to stay together. Number 1. Go off the rails. It's your adventure. You don't care whatever adventure the GM has prepared. Go off alone if you have to. The rest of the group can follow if they care about not splitting up the party. Number 1. Forget game dates and don't inform the group that you have no time. Your time is valuable after all. Number 1. Don't bring food or snacks and then just eat whatever is available at the table. If there's nothing you like, interrupt the game and go shopping for more snacks. Then don't offer to buy any for the other players and the GM as well. If they wanted to have snacks and drink, they should have brought some themselves. Number 1. Don't read the rules. Who's got time for that anyway? It's the GM's job to explain the rules to the players. This way you also don't have to worry about conforming to the rules. Your wizard should be able to wear plate armor, right? I mean, anyone can wear plate armor, it's just clothes. Number 1. Let the GM make your character. Your time is valuable after all. And then when you play that character, hate it and make another one yourself. Number 1. Learn the rules. Know them by heart. And then anytime the GM makes a ruling that is not to your liking, bring up the rules. Remind him how it is actually done. Never bring up the rules when they would be to your disadvantage. Bring up realism whenever it would give you an advantage. Bring up game balance whenever realism would be to your disadvantage. Demand rule changes when you don't like them. You know how this game should be played. Number 1. When it's not your turn to act, don't listen to what is going on. Check your social media. Someone might be admiring your Instagram. And then when it's your turn to act and you make mistakes because you didn't listen, blame the GM. Have them repeat what they just said. If it was important, they should have spoken up. Number 1. When you fail a check because of a bad roll, argue that you shouldn't have to roll anyhow. Your character is so good at this. Failing is so unrealistic. When the GM tells you you can't succeed because it would be unrealistic and doesn't give you a roll, roll anyhow. Then claim that you rolled so high that you should succeed. Claim that a natural 20 always succeeds. And while you're at it, fudge your rolls. Luck is for losers anyhow. Number 1. At the end of the game, let your GM know what you didn't like about it, unquestioned. Your feedback is valuable, and will help him become a better GM. Now, all joke aside, for this list I ask around in my role-playing groups, my friends and the fellow GMs I know, and it was interesting to see in how much about what they said and in how much about what I don't like about my players we have done ourselves. We only know that this is annoying because we had players who had done it and we have been that players. I think the important lesson here is that you should keep the feelings and the fun of the other players and the GM in mind as well as your own, and try to be considerate of them. As long as you're considerate of your fellow players and as long as you're willing to learn and better yourself, you are already a good player. Doesn't matter if your role playing is not up to professional actor standards. Doesn't matter if you can't do any fancy accents. That's just the icing on the cake. If you've got the basics down, you're good. So after doing all these GM advice videos, I thought to myself, I could do that for the other side of the GM screen as well and maybe learn something in the process myself. So I'm planning a whole video series of tips for players, how to be a good player. And if that is something that might interest you, consider subscribing to my channel. So, what is the worst thing your players are doing that you hate? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and goodbye.